The girl undressed and got ready for bed. As she fell asleep, the quilt was pulled away, exposing her legs. She thought it was her brother who was making trouble. She got up in a daze and a big hand pulled him down. It was her father. The girl asked what happened, but he didn't answer. He gazed at his daughter's attractive body with a greedy look. He lowered his head again and stared at his daughter, saying something. The girl was frightened and her body trembled slightly. The father loosened his daughter's hair little by little and began to stroke her little face. When the daughter thought something was going to happen, the father turned and left, leaving the girl with tears and fear on her face. The next morning, the mother chopped green onions while Shalwa sat beside her, unsure if she should share what happened last night. At this time, the father sat down happily, as if nothing had happened last night. Shalwa remembered the look of her father last night and felt it was disgusting and horrible. Seeing her father in modern times pretending to be normal made her feel that her father was disgusting. She turned around and went back to her room. Her family was puzzled and unaware of what occurred. Her mother placed the casserole heavily on the table, adding to their confusion. She devoured the food in large bites, savoring each chew. The youngest son tried a bite of the egg roll but quickly spat it out. The taste was overly salty. The mother took the egg roll and bit into it. After tasting, she claimed it wasn't salty at all. She reached out to her son, asking him to eat. He refused and glanced at his father. The father said he didn't have to eat it if he didn't want to. Suddenly, the mother's eyes turned very cold. She scattered the food on the table and pushed the plate away and broke it. The son was trembling with fear. The mother became more rampant. She slapped the table and said that her son was scared. They were crying loudly, but they had no idea that this was just the beginning of a nightmare. The girl was taking a shower with 100-degree hot water, but she was completely unaware. When she turned off the water valve and wiped off the mist on the glass, she was startled by her sister Shalwa. Shalwa's elder sister was confused. After drying off, she knocked on her younger sister's door, asking why she had been treated that way. But Shalwa said that she had stayed in the room all the time and had not gone out. Then Shalwa pulled her elder sister into the room and told her what her father had done to her last night. At that moment, her father opened the door, and they quickly dodged. He heard everything they said. He turned around and took out a pencil and pushed the handle of the knife out completely. Then he walked towards the two daughters and chopped them down. At the same time, the elder sister pushed them down. As soon as the two ran out of the door, the father appeared in front of them again, grabbed the elder sister's hair, and threw her back and knocked her unconscious. Shalwa was so scared that she rolled and crawled, looking back as she ran. But her father did not chase her. He entered the room, grabbed a large hammer, and left. Meanwhile, her sister woke up. He looked around but could not find her. The sister is missing. Suddenly, he feels someone behind him. His father is holding a hammer and is about to hit his sister. Xiao Huang shouts, "Save my sister." The father turns and hits his own head hard, but remains unharmed. The father lifts the hammer and strikes the door. Meanwhile, a voice from downstairs sounds just like his. The man drops the hammer and enters the room. The real father approaches the corridor, looking confused. The sisters tremble in fear as their father steps on the hammer and notices the hole in the door. He asks in surprise. The sisters are too scared to respond. Meanwhile, the younger brother emerges from the corridor. The sisters told her to hide quickly, and at the same time, a woman's hand appeared and picked up the hammer from the ground. The woman picked up the hammer from the ground, walked towards the man, slowly raised her head, and the pig tried to bite it once, then again, but missed. The wife turned her head, looked at the twin sisters, raised the hammer, and hit the man's arm hard with a bang. After the hammer struck, the man quickly stood up and hugged his wife tightly. But he was pushed away. The wife showed a weird smile, looked at the family in front of her, and then turned to leave. The glass beneath him pierced his feet, yet he felt no pain. Upon entering the room, he heard his wife's voice from downstairs. She covered her mouth and looked at the resident in surprise. The man turned his head to look at the room. Who was that? He opened the door and found no one. The man quickly called his famous exorcist brother. He arrived at his brother's house in the afternoon. He told his brother that there must be an evil spirit in the room. Late at night, the family chose to sleep together. In the night, the little boy woke up needing to urinate. He quietly entered the bathroom, while a similar figure followed behind. He approached the exorcist with a meter-long dagger. He raised the dagger and cried, but then stopped, as if he could not pierce it. The exorcist opened his eyes, and just like that, because of his presence, the family was able to spend another night safely. The next day, the exorcist informed the brother that Shalwa was a disguised evil spirit, surprising him. It turned out that the exorcist had poured holy water into the kettle yesterday. Shalwa didn't drink the water after smelling it. So the man knocked Shalwa unconscious and tied her to the bed. Although he felt cruel, there was nothing he could do. At night, the younger brother returned from exorcism to begin the ceremony. He lit candles, sprinkled holy water on Shalwa, placed a cross on her, and whipped her with a willow branch dipped in holy water. The girl screamed in pain. Then he whipped Shalwa again and again, hitting her hard. Soon her mother couldn't bear it anymore. He is clearly trying to harm his daughter. He moved to stop his brother, but the man shoved his wife and allowed his brother to keep beating her. But suddenly, a voice came from behind. The man seemed to understand something again. He slowly stood up, grabbed his wife's neck and strangled her. The brother smiled strangely after seeing it. The man slammed him against the wall. Looking at his dying wife, the man seemed to understand something again. When he turned his head, the evil spirit bared his teeth and laughed darkly. The man rushed towards the evil spirit, but was slapped and crippled. Just when the evil spirit was about to kill the man, the real brother appeared in time. He recited a spell and successfully saved his brother and killed the evil spirit. He then took out a magic mirror and revealed the true form of the evil spirit. The younger brother finally decided to imprison the evil spirit in his own body. He sent the evil spirit to hell through his will and belief. Both the emotional depth and shooting technique are commendable. Interested friends can go taste it.